The first unit that we're going to take in the title is Intersecting Methodologies to Support the Telling of Stories in Education Research, a predictive inquiry within narrative inquiry. It's from Ellison Tucker. Well, intersecting methodologies is this refers to the unique of combination of two qualitative research approach, a narrative inquiry, and an appreciative inquiry. It's AI. By intersecting, the author highlights how these methodologies are woven together to create a novel framework for studying educational experiences. Leveraging the strength of both enhance this research process. And also, the study combines two qualitative, like I said before, qualitative methodologies, narrative inquiry, and appropriative inquiry to explore teacher story about their identities and how these identities influence their pedagogical practice. The research was conducted in the Newfoundland and Labrador school system, Western Canada, with participants including a classroom teacher, a principal, a superintendent, and system director. And for the object or is to explore stories that shape teacher identity and also to examine how teacher identity manifests in pedagogy. And also it is to introduce a novel methodological model by combining NI and AI to study educational experiences in a helpful, reflective, and restorative way.
The method is research that approach qualitative using an I plus AI techniques, semi-structured individual and group interview guided by the AI cycle, define, discover, dream, design, distinct, plus deepen. The data sources, recorded interview researches, field notes, and reflective journal, participant journal, and shared artifacts. The analysis narrative, analysis contents, comparative method, and paradigmatic analysis to construct meaningful story. The findings, emergence of shifting stories that change teacher perspective from hierarchy to reciprocity relationship based on shared responsibility and trust, from technical rational to traditional, moving away from perspective teaching toward meaningful pedagogical relationship. From status quo to equity, challenging the feature-based narrative and embracing diversity as strength.
Next, we are in the second journal. We titled Qualitative Research Method in Education Field, a Guide for Researchers, Lecturers, and Students. This title indicates that the content is a comprehensive guide to qualitative research method with a focus on the field of education. The book is intended for research, lecturers, and students, helping them to understand the basic concept, practical steps, and application of qualitative research in educational contexts. In other words, the title emphasizes that this work is not only theoretical but also serves as practical handbook for conducting qualitative research in education. Research. The research discussed the use of qualitative research methodology in the field of education. Instead of presenting an empirical study, it reviews theories and practice of qualitative method and explain in theory and approach understanding educational context. An objective, they explain the foundation of qualitative research in education, then to demonstrate its relevance in exploring educational issues, then to provide guidelines on how qualitative methods can be applied in educational research.
The next is method, and the method is types is literature reviews or conceptual study. The next is approach is descriptive analysis of theories and exciting studies about qualitative method. The next is comparison is contrast qualitative approaches with quantitative ones to highlight difference. Okay, the next is finding. The finding is qualitative research in education focus on understanding meaning, process, and subjective experience rather than numbers or statistics. A chapter educational realities deeply, such as teacher identity, student experience, social interaction, and cultural context. Okay, the next is tracks is provides holistic, flexible, and contextual insight. And the weaknesses is time consuming, not as generally able, and highly dependent on the researcher's interpretation. Thank you.